Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm about to do something that's going to make at least half of you do it too. Ready? There we go. Did you yawn? Did you even feel the urge to yawn? If you did, you've just experienced one of the most fascinating and mysterious behaviors in the animal kingdom. Today, we're diving deep into the science of yawning. And trust me, it's way more interesting than you might think. But first, smash that like button if you've ever wondered why seeing someone yawn makes you want to yawn too. And stick around until the end, because I'm going to share some mind-blowing facts about yawning that might change how you think about this everyday behavior. So what exactly is a yawn? On the surface, it seems pretty simple. You open your mouth wide, take a deep breath, maybe stretch a little, and then exhale. But here's where it gets interesting. Yawning isn't just a human thing. Fish yawn, birds yawn, your dog yawns. Even babies in the womb yawn as early as 20 weeks. In fact, all vertebrates yawn, which suggests this behavior evolved hundreds of millions of years ago for some pretty important reasons. But here's the crazy part. Despite decades of research, scientists still debate exactly why we yawn. We have some really compelling theories, though, and some of them might surprise you. For the longest time, people believed yawning was just our body's way of getting more oxygen when we're tired. Sounds logical, right? Take a big breath, get more oxygen to the brain, wake up a little. But here's the thing. Multiple studies have shown this isn't true. Giving people extra oxygen doesn't stop them from yawning, and people in low oxygen environments don't yawn more than usual. So if it's not about oxygen, what's really going on? The most widely accepted theory today is absolutely fascinating. Yawning is essentially your brain's air conditioning system. Here's how it works. When your brain gets a little too warm, yawning helps cool it down. Think about what happens when you yawn. You take in a huge gulp of cool air, much more than a normal breath. At the same time, you stretch all those muscles in your face and neck, which increases blood flow to your head. This combination of cool air and increased circulation helps lower your brain temperature. It's like having a built-in cooling fan for your most important organ. This explains so much about when we yawn. We yawn when we're tired because our brain temperature naturally rises when we're sleepy. We yawn in boring situations because our brain might be working less efficiently and heating up. We even yawn more in warm environments. There's some really cool evidence for this theory, too. Researchers found that people yawn less when they hold cold packs to their foreheads and more when they hold warm packs. Birds pant when they're hot, but they yawn when they need just a slight temperature adjustment. Your brain is incredibly sensitive to temperature changes. Even a degree or two can affect how well you think and focus. So yawning might be this incredibly elegant solution that evolved to keep our brains running at peak performance. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why is yawning so ridiculously contagious? This is where yawning gets really weird and really interesting. Just thinking about yawning can make you yawn. Hearing someone yawn can trigger it. Even reading the word yawn over and over like I just did can set you off. Studies show that about 60% of people will yawn within 5 minutes of seeing someone else yawn. And it's not just humans. Chimpanzees, bonobos, and even dogs catch yawns from their owners. But here's what's really fascinating. Contagious yawning seems to be linked to empathy and social bonding. Children under 4 rarely catch yawns from others, and people with autism spectrum disorders are less likely to experience contagious yawning. The more empathetic you are, the more likely you are to catch someone else's yawn. This suggests that contagious yawning might have evolved as a form of social communication. Picture our ancestors thousands of years ago. If one person yawned because they were getting tired, others catching that yawn would help synchronize the group's sleep schedule. It's like a silent signal saying, hey, maybe it's time to rest. Some researchers think it might also be a way of increasing group alertness in potentially dangerous situations. If someone yawns because their brain needs cooling and they're becoming less alert, others catching that yawn and cooling their own brains could help the entire group stay sharp. The contagious aspect involves some pretty complex brain networks too. Areas involved in self-awareness, empathy, and social cognition all light up when we experience contagious yawning. While brain cooling is the leading theory, scientists have proposed several other fascinating explanations for why we yawn. One theory suggests yawning helps us transition between different states of consciousness. Notice how you yawn when you're waking up or getting sleepy? You might also yawn when you're bored and trying to become more alert, or when you're anxious and trying to calm down. Yawning might be like hitting a reset button for your nervous system. Another interesting idea is that yawning helps with ear pressure regulation. When you yawn, you're also stretching muscles that connect to your middle ear. This could help equalize pressure, which might explain why people yawn during flights or when driving through mountains. There's also evidence that yawning might help with jaw development and maintenance. All that stretching of the jaw muscles during yawning could help keep the temporomandibular joint healthy and properly aligned. Some researchers even think yawning might play a role in lung function and respiratory health. That deep inhalation and stretch might help expand the lungs and clear out stale air from the deepest parts of your respiratory system. The truth is, yawning probably serves multiple functions. Evolution rarely keeps behaviors around that only do one thing, especially behaviors that are as universal and ancient as yawning. Let me blow your mind with some yawning facts in other animals, because this stuff is incredible. Penguins yawn as part of their mating rituals. Talk about a unique pickup line. Snakes yawn to realign their jaws after eating large prey. Fish yawn to regulate the flow of water over their gills. But the most fascinating might be our closest relatives. Chimpanzees and bonobos not only yawn contagiously like us, but their yawns follow social hierarchies. Subordinate chimps are more likely to catch yawns from dominant chimps than the other way around. And remember how I mentioned that babies yawn in the womb? That's true for many mammal species. Rat fetuses yawn, lamb fetuses yawn. It's like this universal developmental program that's built into vertebrate biology. Some animals even have specialized yawning behaviors. Lions often yawn before hunting, which might help them prepare for the intense focus required to catch prey. It's like they're giving their brains a tune-up before the big performance. Before we wrap up, let me blow your mind with some yawn facts that you can use to amaze your friends. First, the average yawn lasts about 6 seconds. Any longer, and it's not really a yawn anymore. It's more like a stretch with your mouth open. People who are more empathetic are not only more likely to catch yawns, but they also yawn more intensely when they do catch them. So if someone's yawn really sets you off, congratulations, you're probably a pretty empathetic person. Blind people can catch yawns just from hearing them, which proves it's not just about visual mimicry. There's something deeper going on in our brains. And here's a weird one. People yawn more during winter months, possibly because the cooler air makes yawning more effective at brain cooling. Finally, excessive yawning can sometimes be a sign of medical conditions affecting the brain, heart, or hormones. So while normal yawning is perfectly healthy, if you're suddenly yawning way more than usual, it might be worth mentioning to your doctor. So, there you have it. Yawning isn't just a simple reflex when you're tired. It's a complex behavior that might help cool your brain, synchronize social groups, transition between mental states, and maintain your physical health. The next time you yawn, take a moment to appreciate the incredible biology happening in your body. And if you catch someone else's yawn, remember that you're participating in a form of social bonding that goes back millions of years. Did this video make you yawn? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed learning about the science behind everyday behaviors, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We've got tons more fascinating topics coming up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.